All right, so why don't you introduce yourself to the camera?
Yeah, my name is Joe Zimmerman. I am a vice president with Rock Ventures.
So, what? How'd you get into this career field, or kind of like what made you want to do this the rest of your life?
So I see those as two questions, right? So how did I get into it? I got into this field um, based on a passion for Halloween and sort of working a couple jobs in different industries and knowing sort of what I wanted to do and the space of the industry that sort of would be self-fulfilling for me. So my brother, as you know, is the visionary behind what was initially the Rock Sports Complex and now a pretty large company that does, we own 22 different businesses and brands, and it continues to expand and grow, and opportunities continue to present themselves. So I've done everything from starting a haunted house to selling corporate sponsorships to managing a bike park and a snow park, and now I'm back in corporate sponsorships, which I love. So I think the experience that I've had along the way has positioned me to be really valuable in the position that I have. And then the second part of that question was, what again?
Um, what does a typical day like look for you? Like when you're not at the office, what would you be doing?
For me personally?
Yeah.
So I oversee a team of 10 people. And what I'm looking at and focusing on is more strategic in nature for the company. So we set forth financial goals and budgets, and it's my job to put forth a plan that is realistic in sort of achieving those goals. So it's part of that is making sure that you have the right people in the right position, that they're properly trained, and then be willing to sort of get your hands dirty. And for me specifically, it's selling. So right before I came in here, I jumped on a sales call, and I think the more involved you are in the process, you tend to have a better grasp on what reality is, and you can make changes quicker. So for me, I work a lot of hours, and it's not an 8 to 5 job. It's very much a lifestyle job. So when I'm here in the office, I'm a lot of my time is coaching my team and working with my team. When they go home at 5 o'clock or so, I focus on looking at the budget and working on the strategy and the direction for sort of where we need to go and where our focus needs to be.
So if someone like wants to get into this career field, what kind of education would you recommend them getting? Whether it be like a technical school or a 4-year college, what would you recommend?
Um, I would recommend hard work ethic.
Mm-hmm.
I think education for me, so my background is I was a firefighter and a paramedic, so my education doesn't correlate to the job that I'm in at the moment. I believe it's the experiences that you have. So I think that if you have life experiences that can substitute some education, but if I were to recommend education, I would say there's a lot of sports programs out there. Communication is a huge part of it, and just general business sense. I think you can go to, I think they offer that from technical college to a 4-year degree.
Because working with you guys, I feel like I've gotten a lot of job experience that I feel like you can't get through a technical school
Mm-hmm.
or going to further education. I feel like I got a lot of experience and knowledge from working with you.
100%. Yeah. Yeah, there's just certain
And you've
things.
kind of seen me grown from when I first started working with you guys to now.
Yep. Yeah, everything from how you interact with customers to, asking questions of, why do we have this deadline? And if we don't hit this deadline, what is that, how does that trickle down?
So do you guys have internships with Rock Ventures or like any type of like kind of, I guess, through like education, if someone wants to go to school and if someone wants like an internship, would you provide them with one, or how would that process be like?
Yep, we've got an internship program here, and I think we bring on anywhere from 10 to 12 to 15 different interns each semester. And as you can imagine, there's a ton of projects that we work on. For example, I just gave an intern a project the other day to help me identify ways that how other corporate partnership teams, specifically in the sports industry, are breaking out sales categories. And we ended up that intern helped us land on, I think we broke them out to 120 different categories, and now we're going to use that knowledge and direct our sales team to change their direction. So yes, there's always internships available, and I think that experience is key to coming out of college with real world experience.
What do you find challenging about your job?
There's a lot of dealing with. There's so many things that the plan that you set forth is not always the quickest or best or easiest way. So you're always adjusting the way that you get to the point that you established in January or November from the previous year. So being able to sort of think ahead of the game and anticipate problems that might arise and have solutions ready to go, so that if and when those do happen, you can make an adjustment really quick. But I would say that, plus this business is very much a lifestyle. It's not one that if you're in it, you're in it, and so having the family that supports your job and making sure that they feel like they're a part of everything you do, whether it's coming to a Wave game or going to the Rock to do whatever, so.
So with the new ballpark commons, how are you guys gonna fill those jobs? And would you be looking for people who are kind of like in like a recreation type field or like type of kind of program? Would you recommend them to work with you guys in the ballpark commons, and like what kind of job openings will there be?
Yes, so we're looking to hire. Our staff will grow by 4. So right now our attendance is about 130,000 people. When we're fully developed in the next 12 to 19 months, our attendance will be north of 600,000 people. And with that level of attendance growth, you're going to have your staff grow as well. So some of that will be seasonal help, some of that will be full-time help. And in terms of how we go about doing that, what we found to be really successful is having job fairs. So we would put a post out there and have people come in, and we would interview them and talk to them and put them in the right position. We always look at previous experience, and if they've had success either with us or in other positions, that's always a plus for sure. But I would say it's we're hiring a lot of people, so there's a huge opportunity for the community to grow with Rock Ventures.
So what do you see Rock Ventures being like in like 5-6 years from the future? Like what do you see the company doing in like 5 years? Do you think you're going to be doing the same things, or do you think you guys are going to grow to extra areas?
That's a good question. I think if I look back at the last 5 years and to see how much we've done and how far we've come and the level of impact we've made in the community, it's pretty astonishing. I never would have anticipated that or been able to bet on that. But based on sort of what we've done in the past, and if I had to predict the future, 5 years is a long time in my world. So, I would say that we're going to put out good product for the community, and one that's centered around family and environment and community. And I would say that we're going to continue to grow at the level that we have been in the past. I would say that what we've learned as well is to spend our time and energy focusing on growing the current portfolio that we have and not take on a whole lot of new stuff. So And I think that what happens with that is whether we're talking about the new baseball team in the stadium or Hill Has Eyes or the Umbrella Bar or whatever, or the Lux Golf, I think that those products become that much more successful because we're able to dedicate more time to that. So I would say growth for sure, but we probably won't be expanding our portfolio to another 22 businesses. We'll probably stay pretty close to what we have, and then just doing a really good job of being experts in those space.
Because working with you guys for almost 4 years, I can really have seen the growth that you guys have had, and like the popularity of everything from the baseball to the Hill Has Eyes. It's just the support that you guys have been getting for that has been amazing.
For sure.
Have you thought about expanding out of state at all? Or not out of state, but like other cities other than just Franklin?
Yeah, we are. We've got a baseball team in Kokomo, Indiana. We have a two additional teams, one in Jamestown, New York, one in Lafayette, Indiana. Those two we recently sold off. I believe that we will continue to expand in certain, like Lux Golf, that will probably expand. We've got 7 licenses available in the Midwest that will probably grow that business. But I think what we're focused on is making as big of an impact on our community here in Franklin and Milwaukee, and then not so much focusing so much on the business outside of the state, though we will have some, and we do have some. But
So kind of going back to the internships, what do they do typically day from day? Like what could they kind of expect to be doing? Does it vary?
It varies, yeah. So there's projects that come up all the time. So I think what's unique about our business is there's many businesses that they could be working on projects for. There's many departments within the corporate environment that they could be working on. So like I said, anything from doing a research project to being on site and helping activate an experience or an event, to helping do some administrative work as well. So I think it's a wide variety of projects that ultimately do a really good job of positioning folks like yourself coming out of school to learn as much as possible in a lot of different areas.
And I found out that the field is always changing from, I could say from starting school. What I've learned is that it's always changing. There's always new kind of things to do. The trends are always changing. Just stuff like that. What kind of education do you have personally?
So my education, I've got an associate's degree in fire science, and then I've got a degree in as a paramedic. So not remotely close to what my field is, but my work experience is retail in nature and sales, and for me all of that stuff sort of translates really well to what I'm doing. So again, like I said before, I think it comes down to work ethic and sort of being willing to put in the work and understanding the expectations and just doing what's needed to achieve your goals.
So, what future do you see, or so I know you were talking about Topgolf. Do you want to kind of like explain what that is and how it got to be what it is now? Because I don't even really know what it exactly is.
Yeah, so Topgolf is our product is Lux Golf. Topgolf is a similar product that's popular, but Topgolf uses an RFID chip in the ball, and think of bowling mixed with restaurant mixed with driving range, sort of all combined. So it's very social in nature. I think there's a statistic of like 67% of the people that go to Topgolf have never touched a golf club ever. So it's not the typical golf like what you'd expect at a golf course, but it's one that's social. So and then comparing that to Our product, Lux Golf, very similar in nature. So you rent out a bay of 6 to 10 people. That bay has a waitress or a waiter, and the gamification in Lux is a little bit different than Topgolf. Lux uses Doppler technology, so rather than an RFID chip, where Doppler will pick up trajectory, spin, you can do lessons, and then it allows for a better gamification of that product as well. So if you're a scratch golfer and I'm not, your targets will be smaller than mine. Yeah, and it's just it's a good social environment.
If you could throw out a number of people you're going to be hiring for the whole Ballpark Commons, what would you say that you guys would be hiring?
I think it's somewhere between 250 and 300 people, I think is my understanding. Again, a lot of that's probably seasonal in nature, but
How are you guys going to manage all those people?
by having a really good team underneath us, yeah, I think by having good managers
Yeah.
and operationally just thinking through everything, all aspects. You look at Hill Has Eyes, that project alone will hire, 120 people. Just having the right chain of command and the right managers in the spots, I think, is key.
Would you guys say that the Hill Has Eyes is getting more popular?
Yeah,
Over
it grows
the
every
years?
it grows every year. So the first year we started at, it was like 3,600 people, and now we're well north of 17,000, and given awards. So
Yeah. Are you guys going to be expanding the Rock League baseball kind of facility with the whole Ballpark Commons? Like, is the Ballpark Commons or the RLB going to stay the 6 fields, I believe it is, or is it going to be expanding to more fields?
So in phase 2, the idea is to have 2 more youth fields, but other than that, it would probably stay the same. Yeah, so there's an opportunity to increase 2 more youth fields, but other than that, it's gonna probably stay the same.
So if you could say anything to the camera that you recommend people doing, what would you say for them? And I think we'll end there.
Okay. Recommend doing in terms of sort of preparation, getting in the field. Make sure that this is the field you want to be in and you're passionate about it, and I think if you're passionate about making an impact on the community and helping kids and families learn how to do different things, I think it's an awesome field. In terms of experience and getting prepared for the field, just go out and get as much life experience as you can. Try different jobs, get as much education that you can, self-study, talk to people that have been in the space, what they like about it, what they don't like about it, and it's a fun field to be in for sure.
If people want to work for you, where would they find job openings?
We use Teamwork Online, and then Teamwork Online then distributes to other sites like Indeed and WIJobs.com and stuff like that. So that's where we post all of our positions, and then to check the websites as well. There's oftentimes job postings on our websites for the different teams and stuff that we have.
All right. Well, thank you for
Cool.
taking your time out
No
to
worries,
talk
man.
to me.
Yeah, appreciate it.
All right.